Also, don't forget to mute yourself while you're checking us so we don't have a reverb back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but stop so I can listen.
Why doesn't he just
That's
take
off
off
one
his...
of the Flippo talk.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear
No.
me?
Yes, we heard you.
No.
Hey, Devin. Can you hear me talking?
We're about
Yeah,
to
I got
kick you out, Greg.
Yeah, we have that power. I'll mute you.
Devin, do you
All
want to
right.
be the new host? Then it's all Devin's. No. I take it back.
Yeah,
Then we'd
just
have to
Devin.
listen to all his ideas.
Not all of them, just some of them.
We have to hear him heave for an hour, just like, what's the deal with food, like airline food, right, guys?
He's just rewatching old Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I am recording, and I guess we'll go ahead and start. All right. 3,
7,
2,
6,
1,
5, 4, 3,
4, 3,
2.
2, 1, go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cape Complainers. We are a weekly podcast show talking about all things nerdy, things that tingle our bingles. And today, I am joined by the complainers, Tim,
Hello.
Devin.
What's a bingle?
It's whatever you need it to be, and Flippo.
My bingles are tingling.
The amount of bingles that happen during this show is ridiculous. All right. Well, today's episode, we will be discussing Peacock's newest little PlayStation Universe show, Twisted Metal, based off of the popular racing, shooting, weird game franchise. But before we do that, the past couple of weeks, we've been doing something weird, just diving into the mindset of one of our complainers, Devin. He has thoughts that most people would consider stupid, moronic, and completely unnecessary. But you know what? We are giving him a platform to shout it at the rooftops. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thoughts with Devin.
Okay, so I realized that this isn't even like sometimes just my own thoughts. It's like things that I could probably look up, but I don't really care to look up because I just don't care to look it up. So here's this week's thought.
Okay.
Driving in my car on my way to work, and I don't really know how the thought came to me, but it was about firing squads.
Uh-huh.
Particularly, I've shot a gun like twice in my life, right?
Okay.
But I know that when I'm out of ammo, I physically in the gun you can tell, and like audibly you can tell, right? Know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting to see where this goes.
I know.
So with firing squads, they all it's like they give one person in the firing squad an empty clip, and it's so that like they don't know who it is. It's random, and so they don't know like. You don't have that guilt. Someone doesn't have that guilt. Let me finish.
They
please.
give one person a bullet.
Oh my god, Tim. What?
They only give one person actual ammo. Everyone else gets blanks.
Oh, it's blanks.
Yes, not empty clips.
Also, I thought that it was everybody else had like live rounds and only one person had.
No.
I was way wrong.
You probably should have used Google for that.
Yeah. So that's your thought? You just thought that people were shooting empty clips and were upset about it?
No, I was thinking like, if the whole point of it is to be like guilt-free, like, oh, it may not have been my gun that did it. Like, how do you not know when you're like shooting guns that are empty, going click, 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 click? How do you not know?
Point it at yourself, and then you'll know. That's the
no.
easiest
What?
way to
No. I mean, like, no. I meant like clearly you would be like, well, I'm guilt free. You guys all killed him. You all shot him. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make sense to me. But apparently now that it's blanks and it's only one person with a round of live ammunition, that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
All right. That's a stupid thought. Do you have an honorable mention off the top of your little noggin that you want to drop some knowledge on us?
I say in the spirit of cooperation with Devin's firing squad thought, we should each take a shot at Devin right now. Devin, you're
Yeah,
bald.
but one of them has to be a compliment.
Well, Devin, you're
Right?
bald.
Devin, you're
Got
bald.
more hair than you.
Yeah, Devin, you're bald, but you pull it off very well.
Thank you.
There you go. There's your compliment.
All
right.
Ketchup's not a gravy.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
Snaps for that.
Yeah. So if you, so I'll give you an honorable mention, Greg. This was a pairing thought that was with me in the car with this.
Okay.
I know it sucks, but a firing squad seems like a very intense and like story to tell. You know what I mean?
About
that's not. You know, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
My bad.
if you had to go, and it wasn't peacefully in your sleep, what would be the best way to go?
The best way to die?
Yeah.
And I can't go peacefully in my sleep.
Nope.
I want to go violently in my sleep. Just eaten alive while I'm sleeping. Just a horrible.
Like ants up the butthole?
No, that's too horrible.
It's a tie-in to the show. It's a tie-in to the show.
But also, that's Flippo's answer now.
All right, so Flippo answered the butthole. Anything besides falling to my death and drowning, I'm kind of okay with it. Like if I die in a car crash, if I also I'm going to add I don't want to die, I don't want to burn alive. Ideally, if I could die as quickly as possible, that'd be the best scenario.
So a gunshot.
Yeah, I would get it. I would get firing squad.
All right, see, Tim, what about you?
See, what do you mean by see?
Hold on. What if it was a fire?
Because my thought, I didn't tell you this. My thought was also firing squad because I was like, man, I feel like it'd be quick.
No,
it feels like it's intense.
Okay,
it's a firing squad of stormtroopers.
Yeah, they miss. they'll never hit you. Tim, what about you? What's your death?
I wouldn't want to be able to think about my death, right? So I'd want it to be something just like instant, like an 18-wheeler, just thump, done. Or like I'm just walking through a dark alley and Joe Cho shoots me instead of Batman's parents. And I just catch a stray bullet, just boom.
I just picture it. The Waynes come out of the theater. Joe Chill's just a terrible shot. It just hits you while you're walking past on the sidewalk.
I fall down. He misses again and shoots me while I'm already dead.
If that happens, would Bruce still become Batman?
No.
We'd become Batman.
He becomes a villain.
You guys become Batman to revenge me. I believe in you.
We're the Batman. But we don't do any workouts. We don't get fit. We don't learn any strategy. It's just us in really poorly made bat suits.
Someone's like robbing a bank, and then all of a sudden you hear
freeze right
there. The robber looks up.
That's what they hear in the dark.
The robber looks up at you guys hiding in the rafters. Do y'all need help? I've got an inhaler here.
Yeah,
please toss it up.
Me and Flippo look at each other. Where's Devin? Oh, he's at home with the gal. He couldn't come. It was just like, oh, okay, great.
That king snaps for the king.
The Batman, you knew he was coming because you'd hear that like chinking, like the thud of like his boots and everything. For us, it would just be like hidden in the dark. You'd hear.
It would be our man boobs flapping against our stomachs as we run. That's our signal. They're like, they're here.
Echoing in the alleyways.
Yeah. What about you, Flippo? What would be your preferred method of death? Oh my god! I just want to get to the part where we talk about the show.
Ants in the butthole.
Yeah. After we get Flippo, are you there? Oh man!
I know. I think we might have lost him, or he's muted.
We'll just stick with ants in the butthole. That's fine.
Or he just saw where this conversation was going and just left.
Maybe he's just died of a heart attack from laughing too hard. Because we're just so funny, guys. We're just hilarious.
Yeah, that's how he died.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just assume that's how he died. So I guess let's go ahead and get into our topic today. Today we are discussing Twisted Metal, newest little PlayStation show that's hit the shelves. And it follows kind of an original story. They take some references from the games, but ultimately it's a really creative, interesting new take on the Twisted Metal story. Because when the show originally came out, me personally, I had no idea how they were going to adapt Twisted Metal into a show. Because if y'all played a Twisted Metal, there is kind of a story. Like there's a background to these characters and everything. But ultimately, I'm just like, how is this going to be a show? And me personally, I think it did a banging job. I thought it was fun. The writing was a little campy in places, but the way the show was set up, that's the only way you could have written this show, is the fun, campy kind of way. But first, I want to hear Tim because he kind of started it a little bit later. He has a fresher take on the episodes. I've seen the whole show when it came out. But Tim, what were your thoughts on the show?
I've only watched the first 3 episodes, but I actually have been really enjoying it. Let me get that out of the way right now. So
Yeah.
then I can complain about the show's writing. Like, it is so silly. Okay, so the cars, amazing. The guns on the cars, amazing. The Falcon, I can't think of his name right now.
John Doe.
What's
Anthony
his
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie,
Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
amazing. Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth's voice, amazing. Whoever did the body for Sweet Tooth, I don't think they had a very good.
He's a wrestler. I think his name is Samoa Joe.
Yeah. I think he did a terrible job, and I think all the writing was just so silly. But once I got over the silliness of the writing, I think once I accepted that the show was going to be campy and kind of lame, I accepted the writing more.
I also bet that the body actor for Sweet Tooth probably like had to do that with someone randomly like reading the lines, not like Will Arnett did. And so he's like, I gotta figure out how to make this work and stuff.
Probably.
I
They
mean,
probably
he was way
couldn't
more-
afford to get both Will Arnett and Anthony Mackie on set at the same time, so
Yeah, well, I mean, why? Because y'all brought it up. What exactly about the Sweet Tooth body actor did y'all not like? Because I thought he did a good job. I didn't think that he did a bad job.
I didn't say that I didn't like him. I think that he more than anybody else, because he's got the mask, like was super gesture heavy.
Uh-huh.
And I think that like, yeah, he's supposed to be insane, but I feel like it was a little off.
I
Because
think
not every gesture meant something.
I
Uh-huh.
think that they could have matched the gestures up with the lines better. I think it felt like he would start doing something and then the line would come on like half a second later or something. Like it just wasn't it didn't feel motivated. It just felt like moving your hands or shrugging your shoulders. And whenever he talked, he didn't like do that thing where, when you're talking like the mask moves a
His
little
head,
bit.
yeah,
You could
head
see
moves.
that he wasn't actually talking.
It actually, at some points, it did look like maybe the mask didn't move, but it looked like his throat was moving. Like you didn't see it here, but you saw it. Like,
And
Yeah, he's a bigger
Way back
guy, so
here.
I don't like. Perhaps since he's a bigger guy, you actually don't see his his actual movements just because there's so much of him.
and
maybe he's
another
got a small head, and the
Yeah.
mask was really long, so his chin didn't reach all the way down.
and another part that I didn't like, his whole body just looked so relaxed. Instead of how I imagine a killer on the hunt for killing someone would be tense.
Tim, that's just
Well,
a fat person
I
body.
disagree. I disagree because the way Sweet Tooth works is, yeah, he's a killer, but he's not a mindful killer. He just does it so naturally that he's just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Oh, you're gonna die.
You know
And
who
so, like,
else
I
is
don't think
a
he's, like,
natural killer? Lions and tigers. But they're tensed up when they kill things.
Tim,
yeah, I don't know. I thought the body actor of Sweet Tooth did a good job. It matched really well with Will Arnett's voice, who, by the way, could easily play the Joker in any animated show for
Yeah.
me.
I
Like
think
his laugh His laugh was great.
I think
was
Will
like, "That's
Arnett did such a good job. Yes.
Yeah, he was great.
I think that the body actor for Sweet Tooth was Goku in Ultra Instinct.
I
Just totally relaxed the entire time.
Just chill.
uh,
Like no work.
I also did like the character of Sweet Tooth after the initial chase scene in the cars.
Introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. How many episodes did you get into it, Devin?
I finished.
Oh, you finished? Awesome.
Yeah.
How awesome. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for Tim, but how awesome was it how they introduced the flames?
You can talk about
Uh,
whatever you want.
I mean, awesome. Like,
I thought it was great because I honestly forgot about it. Because if you're familiar with Sweet Tooth, he has the iconic flames on the top of his head, and he's also missing an eye. And they do both in this show. So whenever they finally introduce the flames and everything, I'm like, holy crap, I forgot all about that. And it's really great how they kind of tied in so much of the game lore into this show.
I
Even though it was a really
forgot.
creepy written
I
show.
forgot that he had flames. I didn't know about the eye thing, but I forgot that he had flames. But
Yeah.
like introducing it wasn't like some crazy like cool like introduction of like, oh man, now he's got firehead. He's literally driving and he just goes, all right, light me up, and they set his head on fire, and it's like,
Well, for me,
okay.
that was the equivalent of when Kratos finally got the Blades of Chaos again. It's something that's iconic to the character. That's just like, oh yeah, they're actually gonna do it. Let's go. And so
Yeah,
it's
but
really,
like it could have been done. Like it could have been like he was like thrown from the car and like his head got like something like some oil on it, and they shot and like boom, like that's how he got it. But instead, it was just like, all right, I'm gonna use this shrinky dink lighter to set your head on fire.
well,
That's
no, they
it.
pour that.
That's
They
all we
pour the
do.
liquid. It's like his war paint kind of thing. He only does it on special occasions. And so I
Um,
thought that was cool that like whenever they're doing the big final twisted metal fight, that they do this. Which, by the way, they did a great job with the twisted metal like driving mechanics like the game does and putting it into live action. It worked incredibly well. Like I loved that how they had the rockets, they had the bullets, like everything was just it looked just like how I pictured a twisted metal in live
well,
action. And it
what
was
I
great.
really liked about like the specifically about Sweet Tooth was that he, um, like all throughout the every time you see him throughout the show, it's oh hey, he's crazy, but he's saving people. He's going after very specific people, and making friends. And then at the end, when they're all going after the law, he's like, oh, there are no sides, and he just starts like taking out people that are supposedly helping him.
Well, the thing is, Sweet Tooth is like again, he's insane.
No, I
You
know.
can't really trust what he does. And so, like, for him to say he's on the same side of somebody, you, if I like, who's the character? What's his name?
Stu.
Stu. Like, whenever he kind of teams up with Stu, I wouldn't even trust that. I knew from the second that happened, I was like, oh, he's gonna do something to Stu. And so it's just an insane person who you can't really trust. He's not on the side of anybody except his own.
Here's my biggest complaint, and part of it's the writing, but like every episode was literally like, how does John and Quiet get mad at each other and make up this time? Like literally every single episode,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
it got predictable. It got
Well, the
so
thing-
predictable.
how
That's-
I viewed the first season was we're trying to set up these characters. We're trying to set up Stone. We're trying to set up Sweet Tooth, John Doe, Quiet. They're trying to create so much because season 2 is going to actually introduce the main story of Twisted Metal. So I think they were just trying to show that just like, oh, these are two different people and this is a relationship that we're building up. Here's Sweet Tooth, he's crazy. Stone, he's a fucking asshole. And so it's just like you just have to they're trying to build relationships right now.
Did
It is well done. Go ahead.
did the Twisted Metal games have a story?
Yeah.
Did they
The
really?
the story in Twisted Metal is there's a character called Calypso. And if you watch the show, you see little hints of Calypso throughout it. Like there's road signs that say Calypso is real. and it's Calypso. He puts together a tournament of drivers, and whoever wins this tournament gets their greatest wish. So, like, certain people wish for certain things, but the thing about Calypso is when he grants you your wish, it's not exactly the way you want it to be. Like,
He's a
it's always
genie.
it's always got like a twist on it that it's not really what they really want.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
Oh my.
Twisted Metal,
Oh.
all connected.
So I
I
don't.
always thought it was a race. I
When
thought
I-
it was like
It's a tournament.
crazy Mario Kart.
When I
Like the
played
last
it,
episode. Huh?
when I played it, I always played it like a battle royale, and I just always just killed other cars. I guess I don't remember there being any like you have got to kill the other cars so you can get your wish made, love.
Why
I
are
don't
they
remember
pretty?
any narrative or anything.
No, yeah, there's a narrative.
Oh,
But
well,
it's a tournament.
also really fast, Devin, you were right. There's only one clip that has non-lethal bullets in a firing squad. Everyone else has lethal bullets. However, they still get shot out. They're just non-lethal rounds.
Yeah,
So
and I think if you don't shoot, you
So
get shot too, or something.
what are non-lethal rounds? Just blanks?
it
Yeah.
says that they are wax rounds. So it'll hit the target, but it won't do anything.
So it's no longer like, oh man, this is gonna take me out quick. It's gonna be like some are gonna hit me and like just really hurt,
Well,
Yeah,
they
and
put
some are gonna kill me.
Yeah, not only am I getting shot, I'm also getting just pelted.
they put
with
a
several-
they put a target on the person's heart, and that's where all the people aim at.
I'd be like, can
Man,
we
the movie's got that way wrong.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think
Okay,
this
yeah.
show, as far as like, because this is going to be like one of several PlayStation properties that get adapted to shows. So far, we've gotten The Last of Us. We now have Twisted Metal. There's still talks of a God of War coming out on Amazon Prime.
I want them to do an Uncharted series, not a movie.
Not a movie. Yeah. I mean, the movie was okay.
No, it was, but you
Yeah.
just can get more in depth with
Yeah,
the
you can actually
shows.
tell the full story in a show
Yeah.
instead of like an hour and a half long movie.
Mhm.
But I think as far as, I mean, obviously we only have The Last of Us to go off of right now. As far as like the PlayStation show goes, this was a very fun, faithful adaptation of a PlayStation property. It's like, yes, the writing is a little iffy at times, but like Tim said, if you put that behind you and actually just have fun with it, it is a really fun ride. It's entertaining. I genuinely wanted to learn more about John Doe as he progressed in his story. We got a little bit of backstory from him. I really wanted to know what Quiet's real name is. I'm still upset we never got her name. It was just a really fun, interesting ride, and it hasn't been confirmed yet for a season 2, but at the end of the season, it sets up the Calypso tournament, that is more like the games, and they also introduce several upcoming people, Grim, Axel, several other characters from the Twisted Metal games are going to be teased, for season 2 at the end of season 1, and it's just something that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have two things. Number one, the first time you see the flashback of John in the car when he's a kid, and that old lady comes up and like whips his shit, I
don't
thought
think
that someone else was in the car with him. It looked
Um,
like someone, like his sister or someone else, was in the car next to him, or like in the seat next to him when
I
he got
didn't
out.
see I didn't see anybody. I just saw him. He was in the driver's seat, right?
Yeah,
I think he like I didn't see anybody else in the car with him. I don't remember anybody else in the
it
car.
just looked in one of the shots they like pan around the car to him, and I feel like I saw like what looked like his sister dead, and then he got out of the car and couldn't like had no idea what was happening. But then like later that wasn't there. My second thing was the thing that I appreciated most about this is this had one very real thing happen in the entire show. Tim, are you okay with spoilers?
Yeah.
So John is going on this delivery. He has 10 days to do it. And when he finally gets the order and he makes it all the way back, you find out that it's ice cream. That's what he was delivering back.
Mhm.
Oh.
And what's her name? Raven. Raven even states they got my order wrong. Like delivery people and getting orders wrong
Yeah.
all the friggin' time.
Speaking of delivery, would y'all want to be a milkman in this universe, or would you prefer? Obviously, I wouldn't want to be in the city because the city seems like there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong with the city.
Yeah, it seemed
But
too
would you want to be a
perfect.
would you want to be a milkman or just kind of running around doing your own thing?
I feel like being a survivor would be a better option, but I think milkmen.
Could we
Do
be
they have
a team
more
of
fun?
milkmen?
Yeah, could we be a
Yeah.
team of milkmen?
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
okay with
Yeah.
that.
I would
Right now,
sacrifice one of
Flippo
you for sure.
right now, Flippo would be quiet, but
Oh, I was thinking that Flippo would be Sweet Tooth.
well, I said he's quiet because he still has not said anything.
Yeah. Well, one of us
I
would
don't
start
think
speaking for him as he gestures.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But okay, so I've mentioned The Last of Us and upcoming PlayStation shows. And Twisted Metal again has shown that you can take just the craziest PlayStation game and make a show about it, and it'll still be good or fun at least.
Watch a Sly Cooper show.
Yeah, I was about to say, what PlayStation property do y'all think has potential to be the next show?
Well, I'm torn because like I want to say God of War, but I also still really want Uncharted.
Aren't we getting a
If
God
it-
of War?
They are, but the rumor is they're starting at the Norse
Oh.
mythology, and that makes me so mad.
Aren't they
It's just like,
also don't we
Yeah, but
already
I think
have the other one that Devin said as well?
they have a movie. They don't have a show.
yeah, they have an Uncharted movie. Let's see.
I think that I mean I get it. Like, yeah, it'd be really nice to see the Greek stuff, but also like I feel like if they don't start at the Greek, it gives really good opportunities to do those flashbacks to everything since
Yeah.
this is what more of the people know. You know what I mean?
Let's see. I'm looking.
What other
up.
properties do they have?
Crash Bandicoot, I think, could be a really interesting show. It would obviously have to be animated.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That would be
Oh,
a fun one.
Yeah, but I feel like that has more kind of a movie feel to it.
Yeah.
Only because it's like all robots and stuff. But if you get past that, like I feel like it could be a good show.
Yeah. Ooh. Do y'all remember Oddworld?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oddworld would be a pretty cool show for me to for them
Ooh,
to do.
I got one.
We got Jax and Dexter, which
Ghost of
apparently
Tsushima.
that's a beautiful. See, that I
That
think
would
would be
be
a movie.
interesting, yeah.
That I think would be a movie. They actually made a movie of Ratchet and Clank. They're making a movie of Jack and Daxter apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dante what's the is it Dante's Inferno, that game?
Is that a Sony
No,
intellectual?
it's Devil May Cry. That's the name of it.
Oh.
Devil May Cry. There's
That'd be
Assassin's
interesting.
Creed. They made a movie of that.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, Little Big Planet.
That'd
I
be
would
a funny
watch that.
one. Yeah.
That's a
That'd
yeah.
be cute.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
I want to see a TV show of the Spider-Man, like that unit, the PlayStation Universe Spider-Man.
There's Spyro. Somebody just put Batman game. I was like, the Batman game's not just a strictly PlayStation title.
Gotham Knights, I think, was though.
Let's see.
I could be wrong.
Here we go. Tomb Raider.
That's not a PlayStation exclusive.
Is it really? I thought it was a PlayStation.
No,
I
because
don't know.
I played that. I played the first 3 on Xbox.
Really? I could have sworn it was a PlayStation.
No, the Uncharted was the Tomb Raider version for PlayStation.
Okay.
There are not some of the games that I'm looking at online for like PlayStation exclusives are not all PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah, I think later they were taken like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Those are PlayStation exclusives. But I don't know.
Space?
Oh,
Dead Space?
Space. That would be interesting.
As a show, yeah, that would be really interesting. But there's a lot of stuff out there that that could easily become good shows. But for me personally, I think an Oddworld or a good Crash Bandicoot show would be really interesting.
Did
to
we
do.
already say Infamous?
No, we did not
Ooh,
say Infamous.
I
That
would
would be
love
a
an
good one.
Infamous
Great
show.
show.
That'd be really cool.
That's what my
Yeah.
my vote
Yeah,
is.
that'd be a really good show.
the first one. The second one is kind of weird.
Mhm.
I actually really preferred playing the second one because of the mix of powers. But
Oh, here we go.
yeah.
Parappa the Rapper, the TV show. Do y'all remember that?
No.
No,
Y'all don't remember Parappa the Rapper?
Was
the name is familiar, but I don't remember what it was.
It's that rhythm-based game where it's kind of like 2D flat characters. Hang on, let me. I don't even know how to
Beat Saber. Let's do Beat Saber, the TV show.
is Dying Light a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
Oh. What about
it was this guy. Oh God.
Though I would love a Dying Light TV show. I think that'd be interesting.
Maybe if I
I
turn down
can't see him at all.
I know. I was like, maybe if I turn down my brightness. There we go.
Oh, yeah. I
Frozen
see
for
him, but
me.
he doesn't look familiar to me.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that was Parappa the Rapper. That would be a really fun show. I would prefer that. Well, obviously, we don't really have many bad things to say other than the writing and
The writer.
Samoa Joe.
And even then, the writing got better as it went on. I just think it was so jarring to see how campy it was at the beginning.
Yes.
With him just like talking and making all the jokes.
Yeah.
And being the only one.
Who was the COO of New San Francisco?
Raven.
Raven? Okay. We all smelled her betrayal or like her true evilness like the second we met her, right? We all knew that instantly. That was one of my biggest complaints about that episode. I almost stopped watching because of how bad they were setting that up.
Well,
and then
thing is,
the way that they set up Silence or Quiet as his sidekick, like it was so obvious that I just treat me like I'm smart sometimes, please.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you know about the games, Raven is a bad guy in the games, and so that came as no surprise to me. I was just like, okay, you're not to be trusted. Fair enough.
I honestly thought that they were going to be the one that shot John at the end, not.
Someone shoots John at the end.
Not like kills him.
You didn't mind spoilers.
I'm just kidding. I'm being facetious.
He's being a pink shirt.
So obviously, y'all are saying y'all aren't familiar with the Twisted Metal franchise.
No.
What are y'all's?
I knew enough about it to be like cars and guns or shooting cars and like almost post-apocalyptic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what? Since Tim, you kind of know how the end of season 1 sets up the tournament of it all. What are y'all's expectations for a hopeful season 2 of Twisted Metal?
More car rockets.
There will definitely be that. There'll even be more cars, more characters.
More cars?
In fact, one person is a car.
What?
Yes.
What?
Oh my gosh. Stone, but Stone was probably my favorite character.
Yes, I'm glad. Well, they didn't show it, but Stone may be dead. I don't, because the way that's set up, they beat Stone and then give him the gun, the same thing that he did with Quiet and her brother, and said, "You have one bullet, whatever you want to do." And I don't remember if they showed Stone dead.
They don't. All they do, but he also like puts the gun like this on his head.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even
Stone may still be alive. But I will say, Hayden Christian Church, I think that's his name. Let me make sure. Thomas Hayden Church. Yeah, he was great.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he was.
I was invested in him the entire time.
Very intimidating. And at the same time, whenever you learn about his backstory, I'm just like, what a wimp. Like, man, he is just the biggest piece of ass I've ever seen in my life.
My other favorite character was the Preacher.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the Preacher. I think the Holy Man episode was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
Minus the whole car thing.
Yeah, and he's a character in the game too. It did a good job of introducing these characters and like showing how they fit in this world. And it was really fun. Really great show. I had a blast watching it. Every episode, like every time I said like, oh well, I'm just gonna just watch one episode. At the end of it, I'd be like, I need the next episode. It was a very fun little ride for me, and I very much would love a season 2.
I thought so. Tim, you said you don't care about spoilers.
No.
So Evelyn blows up.
Yeah,
His car, John's car.
No, I loved
And-
Evelyn.
There's a very sweet. It happens in that in that preacher episode, and so like as that happens, he has this montage of like memories of him like with the car, getting it to start, fixing it up, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And you see, and then like in real time, you see him like dragging all the pieces and making like a grave for her.
Oh.
But he holds on to the steering wheel. That was not the part that I thought he was going to keep. I for sure thought he was going to keep the license plate.
me too.
But then
I
you
thought
see
it
it at
was
the end,
very
and the license plate is like destroyed also.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was real sad.
Well,
Alright,
he
well,
had
let's go
the
into-
combination to activate the car on the steering wheel, right? So maybe he just
yeah.
wants to make sure he doesn't have to reset that up on his next
Yeah.
car.
He had to
Wonder-
rewire and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that was an actual code for the game.
Yeah, it was. It was.
What did it do?
I don't know.
Sweet.
I don't know. We could look it up. But let's go ahead and drift into final thoughts. Devin, since you're the only other one here who has watched the whole show, what are your final thoughts and capes?
Are those lobsters on your shirt?
On my shirt?
Yeah. What is
No,
this
it's-
picture?
It's little skeletons wearing a backwards hat surfing.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
Let me get a little bit closer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't really see the skeleton part. All I see is the waves, and it kind of looks like they're just upside down lobsters.
They're just struggling, just like me in life. What are your final thoughts and capes on Twisted Peacocks?
I enjoyed it. I also kind of almost stopped watching in the beginning because it got really campy, but I stuck it through. I really enjoyed it. I was annoyed by some of the predictability about the relationships. Like that. Bloody Mary? Like I knew, like the
Yeah.
second she came on screen, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah.
As soon as he listed those rules, I was like, oh, this is where it's gonna go. Like some of these episodes, you can call what's gonna happen like from the beginning. What I really liked about the Evelyn Church episode is when they challenge John challenges the preacher to the duel, and there's a moment of silence, and some guy just goes, "He's gonna get fucked."
It's a really funny show. Like a lot of the one-liners in it are just really good.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What about capes? Oh, hang on.
I was hacking up along. Sorry.
Yeah, he's dying. Hang on.
I'll give it 7 capes.
7 capes. Okay. All right. Tim, knowing what you know now, obviously you've only seen 3 episodes. What are your thoughts and capes on what you've seen and heard?
I mean, I plan on watching the entire series anyway. It's already been really fun for me. I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10 capes. It is fun, but there are just a few things that, like, if I take notes, I would be able to recount them and be like, this, but I don't take notes.
If I wasn't invested in like Stone and like some of the backstories that they just set up and show you, I would have probably given it a lower score too.
Yeah. L1, R1, up, down, left, right, right, left, down, up, release L1 and R1 is invincibility in Twisted Metal.
Ooh,
2.
nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a long thing to put in, though.
I know. He's like, and it's got to be entered quickly. Yeah.
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 I've got the
what
god
about-
fingers.
Yeah, what about capes?
6 out of 10. Fun
6
show, bad writing, and some weird body acting from Sweet Tooth.
All right.
And also, Stone's a loser, and so is Raven.
You didn't see them try to have sex in a ball pit.
Yeah.
Raven and Stone?
No.
Quiet, Quiet and John Doe.
Yep.
Oh, did they
It was
really?
weird it was weird every time.
Hmm.
They did it
Yeah.
multiple times in a bull pit.
Flippo, what about you? I loved it. It was fantastic. Just the best show ever. 10 out of 10.
Tim is so
All right.
handsome. Oh, thanks.
All right. Well, for me, I had a really fun time. It was I agree. The first episode, I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, but it's a little corny. Let's see where this goes. But as it went on, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I am very excited for a possible season 2. And just seeing where this story goes and takes these characters. And
Greg, is that how you end a date? For me, I had a really good time.
I would really
But-
like to kiss you now.
Yeah. 6 out of 10 capes, Kathy, I will say. It
But
wasn't
maybe
the
the
best
next
date.
date will be better.
You wanted to go Dutch. I didn't want to. I said, you ate more of the appetizer than me, so you should have probably paid more, but it's whatever. 6 out of 10. But no, it was a fun show. Had a good time. Great characters, great adaptation. I'm going to give this thing an 8 out of 10 capes. I thought it was very fun. What was bad in it, I didn't think about as much, but it was great.
Yeah.
And hopefully get another season.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today with the What's up, Devin?
I just had a thought. I just wanted to say it really quick.
Well, we already
when
went
did
past
Stu
your.
have time to put the jelly on his forehead?
What do you mean?
When he dropped and pushed when he was being sniped at? And he pushed Sweet Tooth out of the way, and his friend comes down to see him. He's like, "Oh God, I shot him!" And he has jelly all over his forehead and a sandwich in his hand. When did he have the time to do that?
I think you dreamt that. I don't think that happens in the show.
It does happen in the show.
Whatever. That's your dream. Go on ahead, Tim. Take us out.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today with the Cape Complainers. Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And be sure to check out our YouTube channel and our Twitch streams, where we are streaming every Sunday at 6 o'clock Central Time.
Yep.
And we are posting shorts to our YouTube page.
Yeah, if Ben ever gets off of his high horse and decides
Yeah.
to start editing again.
He has one job.
I know, right? And he did it twice. And don't forget that nobody complains. Oh yeah, did we say where to listen to us? You can listen to us just about anywhere now. Spotify, others. And don't forget, nobody complains like a fan. We will see y'all next time. All right.
Bye.